Hi there everyone. Today we will discuss about the kinds of nouns. Let us first discuss the meaning of a noun. A noun is a word that names a person, a place, a thing, an object, an animal, or an event. Some examples of nouns are written on the board. We have wedding, cat, market, Gian, pencil, and Baguio. Now that we know if what is a noun and the examples of it, let us now proceed to the four kinds of nouns. The first kind of noun that we have is what we call count nouns. These are nouns that can be counted. It can be a singular or a plural. These are the examples of count noun that can be written in a singular or in a plural form. So we have pig, pigs, country, countries, woman, women, pen, and pens. Aside from the fact that they are the examples of a count noun that can be written in a singular or in plural form, we should also know on how to use them in a sentence. A count noun uses the article a or an in a singular count noun. So, when do we use the article a? If the count noun begins with a consonant letter like B, C, D, G, J, K, and so on. Like for examples, a dog, a pen, a bed, a car, a kite, a lion. We use a because the beginning letter of a count noun is a consonant letter. And we use the article an if the beginning letter of a count noun is a vowel. Like for example, an apple, an octopus, an egg, an umbrella. All those count nouns begins with consonant letter. That's why we use an. Remember kids that we use the article a or an if the count noun was written in a singular count noun. Let us use a or an in a singular form of count noun. We have, I have a dog. This is an oblong. So we use a because the count noun dog begins with a consonant letter. And we use an because the count noun oblong begins with a vowel letter. But what about if a count noun was written in a plural form? Can we use the article a or an? No, we cannot use that article in a plural count noun. Instead, we can add s or es in a count nouns. Example, these are apples. I have 6 cats. Since the count noun was referring into a plural form, that's why we add s at the end of a count noun. The second kinds of nouns is the mass nouns, are nouns which cannot be counted. Some examples of these are milk, water, sand, sugar, air, and coffee. We cannot use the article a or an into this kind of noun, but in order to express the quality of an uncountable nouns, we use a quantifier. Quantifier is a word or phrase which is used before a noun to indicate the quantity or amount of a mass noun. What we have on the board are some examples of quantifier if the mass noun was written in a singular form. So we have a slice of, a glass of, a kilo of, a pack of, a cup of, and so on. Let us now use some quantifier in a sentence to show that the mass noun is in the singular form. What we have on the board are some sentences that use a quantifier to measure the quantity of a mass noun. Let us read sentence number 1. I drink a cup of coffee. Let us identify if what is a mass noun. So the mass noun here is coffee. And the quantifier used to measure the amount of a mass noun is a cup of. And in the number 2 sentence, I gave her a slice of cake. And the mass noun that we have on the sentence number 2 is cake. And the quantifier used to measure again the amount of a mass noun is a slice of. Let us have some examples of quantifier in a plural form. So we have number 1, she added 2 cups of water. So what is the mass noun that used in the sentence number 1? So the mass noun here is water, and the quantifier used to measure the amount of a mass noun is 2 cups. And the sentence number 2, I gave her 1 sack of rice. The mass noun that we have here is rice, and the quantifier used to measure again the amount of a mass noun is 1 sack. Number 3 kinds of noun is the collective noun. It expresses the idea of many, but they are considered as one. It refers to a group or a whole unit of persons, animals, places, or objects. So these are some examples of a collective noun. For person, we use army, battalion, family, class, and team. And for animals, we also use collective noun, pack of wolves, school of fish, colony of ants, flock of birds, and tribe of monkeys. And for objects, we have string of pearls, box of chocolates, set of dishes, and tray of eggs. A collective noun can also be used in a singular and in plural form. We should remember this rule when we are using the collective noun in a singular form. So the rule number 1 is when all the members of a collective noun are performing an action as a unit, we use a singular verb. Let us read this sentence. The team is celebrating the accomplishment of the project after a year of hard work. The collective noun that we use into this sentence is the word team. Team is in the singular form because it shows in the sentence that all the members of a collective nouns are performed as a unit. And the singular verb that used into this sentence is the word is. Another example that we have is a wolf pack hunts as a group. So the collective noun that we have into this sentence is the word pack. And the singular verb used into this sentence is hunts. And this is the rule number 2 when we are using a collective noun in a plural form. When the member of a collective noun are performing an action as individual, we use the plural verb. Let's read the example that we have on the rule number 2. The cats have been practicing their lines. The collective noun that used into this sentence is cats, and the plural verb used is have. The collective noun cats was in the plural form because into this case, all or some members of the group are doing something independently of the other members. The group is not acting together as a unit. And the number 4 kinds of noun is the possessive nouns. It expresses ownership or possession. So again, we have some rules to follow to show ownership or possession of a noun. And this is the rule number 1. Add apostrophe S to a singular noun. So we have an example on the board. The bag of Leslie is new. The possession here is bag, and the singular noun is Leslie. So how can we show the ownership of the possessive noun? To show that Leslie is the owner of the possessive noun, I will write Leslie's bag is new. So I added apostrophe S into the singular noun, which is Leslie. And the number 2 rule is to add an apostrophe to nouns ending in S. Let us read again the example that we have on the board. The dog of Alexis is big. The singular noun into this sentence is the word Alexis. Now, how can we make the singular noun to be a possessive noun? Since the singular noun Alexis ends in letter S, we will just add an apostrophe to make it a possessive noun. We can write it into this way. Alexis' dog is big. For the rule number 3, making plural nouns possessive. When a plural noun ends with an S, simply add an apostrophe to make it a possessive. Again, we have a sample sentence here to apply the rule number 3. My cousin's pencils are sharp. So what is the plural noun into this sentence? So the plural noun that we have is the word cousins. So how can we show the ownership of a plural noun? It is by simply adding an apostrophe at the end of a plural noun. Example number 2. The dancer's shoes are colorful. The plural noun into this sentence is dancers. So, since it ends with letter S, to make it a possessive noun, we will just simply add an apostrophe at the end of a plural noun. And for the rule number 4, add an apostrophe and S for the irregular plural noun. We also have an example for the rule number 4. The children's toys are dirty. The irregular plural noun here is children. That's why we added an apostrophe S to make it a possessive plural noun. And for our last example, the fisherman's nets were donated by Mr. Reyes. So what is the irregular plural noun into this sentence? So it is the word fisherman. That's why we add an apostrophe S to make it a possessive plural noun. The lesson that we have is also a part of their quarter 2 in their English subject. Thank you again for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell of my channel.